In studying cultural evolution, it is important to connect ideas from both science and the humanities. Cultural studies, a field that looks at social, historical, and political aspects of life, can become stronger by including scientific methods and focusing more on how humans are shaped by biology. Chris Barker argues that cultural studies should consider insights from evolutionary biology and psychology. Without this, cultural studies may miss key ideas about why people behave the way they do. Using these scientific ideas can also help improve areas like mental health therapy and new forms of spirituality based on science rather than old religious traditions. E.O. Wilson, a leader in sociobiology, offers a biological view of culture. He explains that many human behaviors are driven by instincts that have stayed the same over time, even as societies change. For example, people still care about status and recognition, and they need to feel valued, even though modern cultures try to reduce obvious hierarchies. Wilson also points out that humans value privacy and form strong bonds with partners and children, though these relationships look different in various cultures. Other behaviors like avoiding incest or forming groups based on shared identity developed as survival strategies over generations. Wilson also believes that culture comes from the shared knowledge of many minds, with each person's thinking influenced by both genes and learning. As we grow, we absorb ideas from the culture around us, but biology shapes how we make choices. This connection between biology and culture shows that both work together to shape individual and social behavior. Some key behaviors like avoiding predators, choosing safe places to live, and finding the right mate are essential for survival and have lasted throughout human history. While today's dangers may be different from those faced by early humans, the instinct to avoid harm is still strong. Choosing a good environment helps individuals and communities thrive, and finding the right partner remains crucial for reproduction. These behaviors show that survival and reproduction have always been central to how humans and their cultures evolve over time. One important idea in evolutionary studies is reciprocal altruism, a concept introduced by Robert Trivers. This refers to helping others with the understanding that the favor will likely be returned in the future. It is different from pure altruism, where someone helps without expecting anything in return. Reciprocal altruism is an evolutionary strategy that encourages cooperation and strengthens social bonds, helping communities thrive. Another key behavior is parental investment. This refers to the time, energy, and care parents give to their children, which has been essential for survival across generations. It shows both the biological and emotional commitment parents make to ensure their offspring grow and succeed. Humans also have a natural tendency to form coalitions or groups. Working together has been crucial for survival, as communities that cooperate can achieve more than individuals working alone. These behaviors, helping others, raising children, and working in groups, have lasted throughout human history, showing how connected culture and evolution are. When comparing evolutionary psychology with sociobiology, the two fields overlap, but they focus on different things. Sociobiology looks at the biological basis of social behavior, while evolutionary psychology focuses more on how the human mind developed through natural selection. Evolutionary psychology studies how our brains evolved to process information and solve problems, especially the challenges faced by our ancestors. Evolutionary psychology suggests that many features of the human mind were to help people survive and reproduce. These mental traits, which evolved over generations, are called adaptive traits. They became part of our psychological makeup because they helped our ancestors survive through natural selection. By solving problems like finding food, choosing safe places to live, or avoiding danger, even behaviors that seem strange today may have made sense in the past. Tooby and Cosmides, key thinkers in evolutionary psychology, explained that the mind works like an information processing machine built by evolution to handle specific problems. However, this mental machinery is better suited to the challenges of the ancient world than those of modern life. For example, many fears and habits that helped early humans survive might not be as useful today. Evolutionary psychologists often use a method called reverse engineering. This means they study current behaviors to figure out how they might have been helpful in the past. By looking at modern actions, they trace back to the possible reasons these behaviors evolved, helping us understand why we think and act the way we do. An example that shows how evolutionary psychology works is the fear of spiders versus the fear of cars. Though cars are far more dangerous today, many people are still more afraid of spiders. Evolutionary psychologists explained that this happens because our ancestors needed to fear things like venomous animals to survive. Cars, on the other hand, are a recent danger, so our brains have not evolved to fear them in the same way. Similarly, behaviors like phobias or psychosomatic disorders, physical symptoms caused by mental stress, can be better understood by looking at how they might have helped humans in the past. Tooby and Cosmides, two important thinkers in evolutionary psychology, explained that this field is more than just one part of psychology. It is a framework for understanding many topics from social behavior to how our brains work. Evolutionary psychology helps researchers explore long-standing questions about human behavior by showing how natural selection shaped the way we think and act. Chris Barker also believes that evolutionary ideas can improve cultural studies. Traditionally, cultural studies focus on history, politics, and society, staying separate from science. But Barker argues that understanding human culture requires recognizing how evolution shapes human behaviors. For example, our preferences for certain foods, differences in spatial abilities between genders, or even complex issues like suicide can be better understood through the lens of evolution. Barker suggests that blending biology and cultural studies helps us move beyond the idea that science and humanities are completely separate. Even ideas about nature are shaped by culture through language and socialization. Evolutionary theory, therefore, does not just explain how humans adapt biologically, it also gives us insights into cultural practices that grow out of these adaptations. It helps us understand the mind as shaped by natural selection. It shows that behaviors are not just cultural, they are often connected to survival strategies from our ancestors. This framework allows researchers to study both ancient problem solving skills and modern cultural practices, revealing how biology and culture work together. By combining these fields, we gain a deeper understanding of human behavior and cultural expressions it produces.